Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about how to create this hex on the end, but using a live tool on the lathe that comes from the x-axis. So there's a video that exists that says creating a hex on a lathe from the z-axis, which is a tool coming from this direction. We want the tool coming from the actual x-axis. So I'm going to delete this particular one I have here. And I'm going to go to a top view. Matter of fact, I'm going to get rid of that curve on the end as well. But I'm going to come in here and just draw a vertical line back over how deep my hex is going to be. And then I'm just going to trim away, because this is a round piece of stock. It's going to go to top view. Little trick here is I'm just going to come in and say trim here down to here. And I'm just kind of eyeballing that, and here up to here. And just kind of eyeballing that. Then I might select these two out here and just get rid of them. Delete. Anyway, I have this line drawn. And when I go tell it the top of the curve, if you will, I could tell it, well, it's an inch up. Or I could just take this and I'm going to translate it up 1 inch, because this is a 2-inch diameter piece of material. I'm going to transfer it up 1 inch in the y-axis. So I'm going to say transform, translate in the y up 1 inch. Do a little preview here. And I want this to be +1, preview, and say OK. Anyway, I'm going to highlight this curve, new feature, turn mill for live tool. It's going to cut the side of something. Next. There's the line. Next. So notice right away that the side is as though the curve, the tool is coming in from the z-axis, just like on a mill. Matter of fact, I rotate like that, it thinks I'm on a milling machine. So I don't have the option here in the wizard to change this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just keep going through this wizard some and say it starts at 0. I want it to be, say, I didn't pay attention to the depth. I'm just going to say 200 deep. Do a little preview here. Again, it thinks it's 200 deep this way. Next. And I don't want to rough. I just want to finish. I don't want to ramp. Next. And I'm also going to go grab the 3/4 inch tool. Next. 0.75. Grab this tool here and say OK. So right now, if I simulate, the tool comes in from the end. Actually, it does come in from the end, but there's no material out there. Good little lesson. There's no material for it to cut. Unless, just so I can show this, if I went to finish, milling, and said total stock was 0, basically it's the same thing I was showing in another video. If I single step, you can see the tool cut across this edge. And of course, it's using the x-axis to rotate it. But anyway, let's go back into the feature and tell it that we're going to take off that total stock unset. Anyway, what I'm going to do here is, if we go to the tool axis, which is an option that you have in the turning, I can say, well, it's not a Z tool, it's an X tool. All right, I'm going to hit apply and watch what happens to this shape. It's now going up and down because the tool is coming from this direction. I'm going to go to side control, make sure that I'm cutting the side that I want. So here is my top at 0, my depth of 200. Finish only. So if we play this, single step, here comes the tool. It rotates it around for me, but here comes the tool, and it just makes a pass across there. Now if I want to do that on repeat that 5 times. What I'll do is make a pattern. So I'll select the feature. See this feature selected. I'll say create a new feature. Next. Notice it defaults to pattern. It's a beautiful thing to pick first because it always tries to figure out what you're doing. Yes, I want to do a pattern. There's the feature. Next, I want to do a pattern around the index axis. Next, I want to do 5 at 360 divided by 5. Preview, finish. If we go ahead and say play, there's our exact same shape with the tool coming from the x-axis. And I just got lucky on guessing the depth.